silver and gold. They're up, baby. Thank you so much for watching my video. I sincerely appreciate it. If you want to learn more about investing in precious metals, or if you just want to watch awesome videos about gold and silver, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay, silver's up, gold is up. Wow, what a week it has been. So I'm filming this video right now on Sunday, July 26th, 2020. And as many of you know, I always film my videos the day before I post them. So I'll post this on Monday, July 27th. Now, I might not know what the price of silver and gold are going to be in the morning, but I know what they are right now because the markets open up on Sunday night. And so we can kind of see that sneak peek what's going to happen going into Monday. So right now we have $1,940 gold. That is insane, absolutely crazy. So uncharted waters for gold. Gold has literally never been this high ever as far as the spot price is concerned. So gold is up quite nicely. Silver, these are all silver quarters, by the way, if you didn't know. Each one of these is made of 90% silver, so we'll be showing off some quarters in the video. But silver is up to $24.20. So silver making that push up from $22.90 it was at. So it's up $1.30 at the moment. Absolutely crazy, right? And then the gold to silver ratio is at 80.16. So a little over 80 ounces of silver to buy 1 ounce of gold if you're going off the ratio when spot price is concerned. All right, so in this video, there's a few things I want to talk about. Number one, I just want to sort of give my reaction to the metals going up in price. I did do a poll recently here on my YouTube channel, so I'll give you the results of that and what you all are thinking as well. And then I want to talk about a new concept. So if you've been subscribed to me since the beginning, watched every video, maybe you're a veteran stacker, been buying lots of silver and gold over the years, or maybe if you're just getting into precious metals, I've got a new concept, something I've never talked about before. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit. So first, let's get to my reaction. Now, the first thing I thought when I saw silver and gold go up was, wow, we are in an incredible bull market. Okay, so silver, gold making that push. I mean, obviously the economy hasn't recovered over the weekend. There's still these tensions with trade for US and China. And so people are still putting their money into gold and silver. Lots of demand. To me, really, it is not a surprise. In my recent videos, I predicted silver and gold are going to keep going up. I did mention that there might be a pullback at some point. We're not seeing that yet. Will we see it overnight going into tomorrow? Will we see it throughout the week? Very possibly, not sure, but as of right now, gold and silver are up. So the poll that I did on my channel was, I basically asked people what they thought was going to happen to the price of silver when the markets opened up right now. And I posted it about 6 hours before the markets opened up. We had about 1,000 people vote, so that was great. 12% of people thought silver prices were going to stay roughly the same. So it was $22.90 at the time, and now it's up over $24. So clearly they have not stayed the same. 51% of all of you said it was going to go up. So you predicted silver would rise, and undoubtedly it has. 16% it would go down. 4% said we will have a massive pullback. Haven't seen that yet. Still waiting for it. I know it's a possibility. A lot of times when it shoots up in that candlestick, we have a pullback before it continues to go up or level off or what have you. But we have not seen a pullback yet. So we're still waiting on that if there ever will be one. But then I added another part of the poll, which was totally different. Didn't really have to do with the price of silver. It said, who cares? You should measure your wealth in ounces, not in dollars. And so that's sort of the theme I wanted to talk about in this video. Now, the last thing I want to say regarding the price of gold and silver going up is I still think we're in a bull market. I still think it's going to continue to go up. I see much higher gold and silver prices in the future. I do see us cracking that $2,000 mark for gold very soon. So I think if you're buying gold, you might want to pick it up before it goes over $2,000. Although with the premiums on physical gold bullion, we're already well over $2,000 an ounce. So just something to think about. And then silver, I think we'll be hitting that $25 mark very shortly, and it will continue to go up. That's just my thoughts. It's basically pure speculation, but the way everything's been going, I think it's a pretty safe bet at the moment. So, okay, let's talk about measuring your wealth in ounces, not in dollars. So I want to start off by saying when I first started buying silver, and by the way, all of these are 90% silver if you don't know. Quarters that are minted from 1964 and earlier are 90%. So we got a 53. We got a, was that a 64? Do we get the last year? Yep, 1964. That's the last year of the silver quarters. And you can also tell just by looking at the side, it looks different than a normal quarter. Which is the copper nickel mixture, of course. So anyway, yeah, we got all these silver quarters here. This is in fact my entire silver quarter stack. Anyway, when I first started stacking silver, I heard people use the term measure your wealth in ounces, not in dollars. And I didn't really realize what they were talking about. I didn't have a good grasp on it for quite a period of time. So I remember buying my first ounce of silver, and I went down to the coin shop. I had to exchange my cans that I had been collecting for fiat currency. So I collected about 150 cans. We get 10 cents a can for returns here in the great state of Oregon. So I had my $15 in cash. I went down to the local coin shop and I bought my first ounce of silver, and actually have one of my first 20 ounces that I bought. Let me see if I can find it here. Here it is. I've showed this off in videos in the past, but this is one of my first 20 ounces of silver that I ever bought. Absolutely gorgeous. One of my favorite, all-time favorite silver rounds. Honest value never fails. But anyway, so I bought my first ounce of silver, and I thought to myself, I now have $15 in silver. That's literally what I thought. You know, I held the silver in my hand. I thought, wow, this is very heavy. This is beautiful. This is super cool. I need to get more of this. That's what I was thinking. But also, I didn't really understand that, okay, the wealth that I had accumulated was 1 ounce of silver. It was not the dollar amount in silver. So something that I want to show you here, I got a $20 bill and a $10 bill. And do you know what the difference between these are? I'll give you a second to take a look at them, and you can tell me what you think the biggest difference between the 20 and the 10 are. So I'll just give you a second here. Did you find it? Did you see it? The difference is this one here has a 20 at the top. Isn't that crazy? And then this one here has a 10. So this one has the number 20 on it, and this one has the number 10 on it. And then they're slightly different colors, and they got different serial numbers, and obviously different people on them and stuff like that. But other than the numbers, these are basically both just a piece of paper, right? And what is this at the end of the day? This is U.S. currency, and this is also debt. So think about how much debt our nation is in, right? How many trillions and trillions of dollars in debt. It even says at the top, check this out, Federal Reserve Note. $20. So it doesn't even say money on here anywhere, right? This is just currency. And if you've been stacking silver and gold and buying them for quite a while, then you know that this represents debt. Okay, this does not represent wealth. This doesn't even really represent money that well. I mean, when you're a kid, you learn about money and how to buy things, and you're always taught like this is money, right? The paper bills, those are money. You play Monopoly, there's the Fiat. I mean, that's like the ultimate fiat currency, right? There's nothing backing that Monopoly money, but you can buy your little hotels and whatever as you move around the board, right? But then once you start buying silver and gold, you really understand that this represents money much better than just fiat notes. Now, it's kind of funny because I'm using quarters in this example, but we don't even have to use those at all. Let's just use this round here. Now, this round is not a coin. It's made from a private mint, and it has 1 ounce of silver in it, right? But this right here is wealth. It is money. It's a great representation of what money is. It's backed by itself, right? So it contains 1 troy ounce of 3/9 fine silver. And because silver has not only been used as money for so many years, but also it has intrinsic value, right? This is an element placed here on Earth. The element of silver is used in many different things, industry, medicine, list goes on. But also there's a finite amount of this. The governments cannot create more of this. So this is a great form of money. It's awesome for exchanging for goods and services. And we used to have our money made out of silver, of course, like with the silver quarters. We also had money made out of gold, the pre-33 gold coins. So when our country went away from all that, we started having this fiat currency, which is what we all know now as supposed money, right? But this is not backed by anything. This is just backed by the government. People buy and sell things, use this as a means of exchange, right? But at the end of the day, there's nothing backing this paper. It's just paper. And so if we have massive inflation, currency collapse, especially hyperinflation, then this will go to zero. It won't be worth anything. And so when we're talking about a currency collapse, one example would be the mark, right? So after World War II, Germany was in an incredible amount of debt. And so what did they do? They didn't default on their currency. No, they just lit up the printing presses and they printed an insane amount of the German marks, right? And they in fact used so much paper that they ran out of it, and they started printing their money on wood and playing cards and all sorts of crazy stuff. And what did the people do? So the people that lived in Germany at the time, they were really upset with this because basically the money was only worth half as much as it was the day before because of the hyperinflation that was going on. So if you had a $20 bill, then you go to bed and then the next day it's only worth $10. It's still a $20 bill, but the buying power got cut in half. So that's what hyperinflation looks like. It's devastating. We've recently seen it in Venezuela with the bolivar, and people just not being able to use the currency. So could that ever happen here in the United States of America? At some point, I think it will. We're either going to switch to some other form of currency before it does, or the US dollar will eventually be hyperinflated into oblivion. All fiat currencies are eventually worth zero. We've seen this throughout the history of the world. We know it to be true. And so I would say that when you look at your silver, when you look at your gold, don't measure it in dollar terms because you're really doing yourself an injustice. And it's very liberating when you realize that this, because it's gold, because it's silver, is true wealth. You don't need to measure it in dollar terms. You can measure it in ounce terms. So how many ounces of gold do you have? How many ounces of silver do you have? What is the buying power of that? One other thing I want to say is that we don't necessarily know when hyperinflation is going to occur. By the way, this is a beautiful toned 64 Washington quarter here. This is gorgeous. But I don't know if hyperinflation will happen in my lifetime. I know that right now the US dollar, the currency supply is getting expanded dramatically. I mean, trillions and trillions of US dollars have been created this year already. And they're talking about another stimulus package. They're definitely going to continue to expand the money supply. So we are going to have inflation for sure. But what is that going to look like in the next 5 or 10 years? I don't know. Is it going to turn into hyperinflation? Possibly. That's something you need to be thinking about, definitely be concerned about. And for that reason, you need to be diversifying into gold and silver. But is it for sure going to happen in the next year, 5 years, decade? I have no idea. It might not even happen in my lifetime. All right, so I hope I was able to explain to you how important it is to measure your wealth in ounces, not in dollars or in fiat dollar terms. I hope you're able to understand that. It took me literally probably a year to get a good grasp of that, and how silver and gold really are real money. You can look at them as money. So all that being said, I still think that right now with $24.20 silver and 1940 gold, you can buy silver and gold at these prices. I would say, in my opinion, it's definitely going to keep going up. Do I know that to be true? I honestly don't. No one knows. It is speculation. But just looking at how the things have been going over the last week or so, wow, it seems like we are just on this trajectory upward. So I know I showed off some junk silver in this video. If you don't know a lot about junk silver, I actually made a whole video called Why Junk Silver is King. So I'll put a link to that video up in the corner, as well as one down below in the description. Definitely check out that video if you've been thinking about buying junk silver. If you want to pick some of this up for yourself, I would highly recommend it. I love junk silver. Not only do I have the quarters, but I also have the dimes, the half dollars, and I do have some Morgan dollars and peace dollars as well, but I don't really include those in my junk silver, although technically, yes, they are 90% silver. It's because the weight on those is a little bit different. 2 half dollars does not equal $1 when it comes to the junk silver coins. The Morgans and peace dollars are a little bit heavier. So anyway, I honestly cannot believe how much momentum silver and gold have been having over just the last week or so. Do you think it's going to keep going up? What do you think is going to happen to the price of silver and gold over the course of this week? Leave a comment down below. I love to hear from you all. And also, did I explain to you well enough the whole measuring your wealth in ounces, not in dollars? You can comment on that down below. And if there's anything I missed or forgot, feel free to add that in. So I want to say a massive thank you so much for watching my video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Silver Dragons out.